Wake the fuck up. It's time to talk business. Jared Taylor and Evan Hafer proudly present Blackhearted.
Not bad.
Sponsored by BlackRifle Coffee Company and Arson Wave.
Just one.
Just
I thought the new intro was going to be there. I got excited.
No, not yet. He's fixing it. He says by Thursday we're good to go.
Cool.
By Thursday.
By Thursday.
I feel like that's just me in business right there. I just weasel my way into other people's creative outlets where I'm like, oh, you guys have a new podcast. Hey, I'm here. Can I come on?
That's perfect. That's perfect.
He's like the one thing he weasels on and doesn't do himself or with you. He's just like the one thing. Everything else he's done, people have found their way into his pocket.
Oh wow.
Your pockets are full, my friend.
Yeah, I know. But no, they've been emptied by other people quite often, so I don't know about if they're full. So
your pockets are full of other people. Your back's got to be tired.
Oh man.
Well, today we're talking about true mentors in business, like real ones. Why
mentors.
And how to pick them and how to pick out the fakes. Because there are a lot of fakes out there. There are a lot of fucking fakes that literally have somehow built themselves just on telling people that they're successful.
As Richard Ryan would say it, I heard that with my bad ear. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Lord Hot Dog, you are right.
Yeah, it is.
Lord
It
Hot
blows-
Dog, you are right.
I'd say the most and it's it's stolen valor in another field. You know.
Well, no, it's like the same thing in the military, right? Like it's all about execution. If there's we literally before we went live, you were talking about a certain task that you asked someone to do, and then they didn't execute it to the full potential of especially what you'd expect them to do, and that's what business is just going out there and actually every morning and night doing it. And people just don't, and they brag, I think, about look what I can do, look who I know. When at the end of the day, they haven't done anything.
Yeah, there's a number of people that are. There's it's almost like a subculture of people that are more obsessed with the vanity and I'm an entrepreneur than they are with actually having a successful business.
Well, I think the entrepreneur, the definition, right, is it's been polluted with people that just don't have jobs. So then there's I'm an entrepreneur, and it's yeah, not really. I mean, an entrepreneur would be seeking to, go out and start a business. Maybe even knows how to establish an EIN. Here's a great point. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they're well, I'm an entrepreneur, and they've been defining themselves as an entrepreneur for a few years, and they're like, what's an EIN? I'm like, that's your fucking tax ID.
Yeah, that's
the
rule
first
one.
thing that you have to get. And I'm like, how the fuck can you be an entrepreneur and you don't even know what an EIN
Well,
is?
Well,
I had the same thing.
I had a buddy get audited for that sole reason. He'd stood up, and I don't know if you can do an LLC without actually establishing an EIN, but he had somehow backlogged his taxes through his personal social. So when he was filing taxes, he was paying the taxes, but since there was no EIN, it looked as the business was paying zero taxes, and he got his ass audited and got.
Wow.
Yeah, it was brutal.
I had somebody tell me in an intro oh yeah, I've sold 2 businesses before. I was like, oh man, what was your EBITDA on those?
Right.
What's that?
Whoa.
How the fuck do you sell 2 businesses in? Were you selling lemonade and somebody just?
and I guess, and granted, even the collective here, we don't know everything about business by any stretch.
Anything.
Seriously, we scratched the surface at it, but we're not out there beating the drums, telling people we're fucking amazing entrepreneurs and we're just out there fucking killing it. Whereas I hear people every day talk about the grind and how they're fucking killing it.
That's as bad as the set life hashtag.
That's exactly what it is, where people are more, like you said, concerned with the vanity aspect of it rather than oh, I worked so hard tonight, and they're posting on social media. We're like, well, you took the time to post that, so I don't really know, because if it's that critical to the success of your business, you're not
the
gonna do that.
vacations. We were joking this whole week about the vacations, where it's like people that fucking talk until they're blue in the fucking fat lying mouth about how they're fucking business owners and entrepreneurs and blah 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 blah. But it's like the busiest time you should have during the year. All you are is posting photos of you on vacation.
Yeah, you own an e-com in Q4, and I see you on the beach.
Like you're a fucking liar.
Or they're like insanely successful. Where
Quite
they're
possibly,
like, I got an assistant that does that, motherfucker. I'm in the Bahamas with my beer.
A lot of these people, we know them.
Yeah.
So we also
we know they're lying. We know they're lying.
It's like,
you lying motherfucker.
You, sir.
You're just posting a bunch of fake old pictures to make people think that you're interesting.
right.
It's true though. Like I think when people are always like, "What are your hobbies?" Like I do a lot of things like play guitar and you know things that are fun to me. But business is really what I drive every day for, just because it's challenging and new every single day. Whenever you think you have some shit figured out, you got a lot of other shit you don't have figured out. Like especially like around guys like you and stuff. It's when you start to feel comfortable in a space and like, wow, my business partner knows more than me. I better up my game. It's challenging to me every day, and I find it so competitive and awesome. I love it.
I laughed. Brandon was giving somebody this speech today about how he had this much on his plate and only this much time. And I said, Brandon, I laugh at people when they tell me they're busy.
Yeah. I laugh.
I just laugh.
I
think
think
you're busy.
I think it's interesting, you know, like we don't go into a lot of specifics because like we're young businesses, and honestly like a lot of the stuff that we've developed is pretty proprietary to what we do, right? So the system itself that we've developed over the last 3+ years, I mean, really, and we're trying to solidify it in the sense of like, you know, we develop an SOP and we kind of stick with it to make sure that things are working for a while, but then we're continuing to learn, and that's the biggest thing that I continue to talk about all the time, which is like, people are like, how do I do this? It's like, how the fuck do you think you do it? Like the first thing that you need to do is, one, you're reaching out to people that want to that have businesses that we run on a daily basis. Right. And you don't know them, there's no interaction with them, but you're like in the blind, one sentence, and we get this all the time. How do I start a business? And I started telling the customer service guys, like, just send them to the Small Business Association's fucking website. Because a funny story is like, how did I start my first true first business? Like I've started a couple businesses initially that really weren't real in the sense of like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So
that's essentially how Jared and I got started. I mean, we were like, hey, let's sell some shirts. And as we were getting ready to go live, we consulted with someone that had a little more savvy on the back end, because we'd never, developed an EIN and gone all through all these the tax processes. And it was like, yeah, you guys need to do this. Your ass is going to be handled. We're like, oh, fuck. I guess it's not as simple as we thought it was, and shit, 4 years later, I still don't know what the fuck's going on.
Well, I think to some degree, like you outsource the things that you don't know, right?
Well, I'm saying,
so
I'm saying general. I'm not saying we don't know, but you bring in experts. We're like, wow, I don't want to fucking go through the books every single day to make sure when I get audited by the IRS, I don't get my ass handed to me.
Yeah, well, and that's what I always say is like, here's my accounting company, the guys that the entire company, they're going to go through it, and there's 4 sets of eyes on this, because accounting is one of those things you'll find yourself completely fucked, and you'll find yourself completely fucked if you fuck that up.
Yeah, it can crush a business in a matter of a day.
Well, I didn't know how to write a business plan, right? So I took the story I was getting to is I took the 5-paragraph op order, and I translated what I felt was strong for the 5-paragraph op order. Was like, okay, you've got situation, straight up top.
Yep.
And then you got
mission.
Enemy, if you're analyzing your enemy, so what's the market look like? And that's all I did. It was like, hey, what's the market analysis on this, and what's my mission, And then as you go down through the rest of the 5-paragraph op order, you can take a look at each one of those things directly correlate it to your mission. So what's your mission, right?
It is fun. I never thought about how a 5-paragraph op order would be like directly relatable to business situation, mission, execution, servant support, and command and signal. Because after execution, you have service support, customer service, and all these other things, fulfillment that go along with that, and command and signal or logistics. You know,
it directly translates. It directly translates, and honestly, you know. Jeff and I had a $500,000 check written on a fucking 5-paragraph op order. That's, you know, the guy and the guy had seen thousands of pitches, and he said that was the most organized, well architected, and articulated business plan he'd ever seen. And you know, you remember. You remember the dude?
Yeah, we sure do.
That's when great guy, man. Fucking really cool dude.
That.
Yeah, great dude. Doug was his name. He was one of the founders of Celtic Bank, so he was like giving out small business loans all the time. And he's like, "Man, you guys knocked it out of the park. How many of these have you done?" I'm like, "That's our first one, dude." I just sat down for 3 days with a 5-paragraph op order with the operations order open on one end, and then the fucking Small Business Association business planning guide on the other end. And just pulling the information apart. And honestly, I was like, man, I scrubbed it like fucking 400 times, you know. And and then and Jeff and I were going back and forth on how to articulate each and every one of the items. But it was a good business plan.
Evan, real work.
That's real
work. Effort.
Yeah, real effort.
When you have defined that you want to, and this is why I see so many people that are fucking fake. Because they say, "Oh, well, this is my goal." Like, what did you do to push yourself towards that?
Right.
Like, that's real. That's not just, "Oh no, I'm just gonna try and meet as many people as I can and say, I want to start a business and hope that it just magically happens." Like,
I'm gonna do zero market research. Yeah. I have a fucking badass idea, guys. It's for a military apparel company. You know, I mean, I'm just gonna be like, fuck it. You know what? Let's make some shirts.
Well, sometimes that works. You know,
I think it works if I know way more about it than you guys, and not than you guys, but I know way more about it because of you guys. But a lot of people are like, I'm just gonna get into the military apparel space. I'm gonna start making fucking T-shirts. They don't have designers. They don't even have.
They don't have a design background.
They don't have anything. They don't know how to make shirts. They don't know how to get shirts.
So what we call that is plagiarism, which is rampant these days.
and that's what we're talking about. These fake fucking entrepreneurs that are like zero research,
zero idea.
They see you and they're like, well, Matt Best makes it look easy, and Jared Taylor makes it look easy. There are 100 fucking coffee companies out there, and I mean. Fuck, man, like I've answered questions around the last 3 years about coffee for half of these fucking guys. Like, and I'm not bagging on these guys. A lot of these guys are good dudes. It's just like they don't know the first fucking thing about coffee. Like they didn't know the first thing. Like I designed their bags.
Why
I
go
fucking
into
set
it,
up with like counting down the line.
Why even do it? Like why?
It's like because they're
come
like,
up with a new idea. Like,
yeah, fucking toothpicks, military toothpicks. I don't fucking know.
Well, I mean, like, you can look at it this way, right? Like, in the apparel space, Article 15 clothing was not the first of its kind. You know, you had, like, Ranger Up and a couple, like, 1 or 2 at the time. And so it's not necessarily an original idea, but the heart and soul of the brand was original because it's kind of... you know, the authenticity did not exist. So we kind of created that where it was like, we're going to be really edgy. We're going to go for broke. And that's what, like, you can still exist in the same space. Like in the coffee space, like you didn't invent coffee.
No.
Now, BlackRifle coffee is very specific to like the conservative Pro 2A like demo. Like that's why it was so successful and why you guys continue to grow. But at the same time, you don't own coffee. So anybody else has the ability to start a coffee company. But it's like
you
when
might want to fucking learn the
Yeah.
product.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you on the other side, just articulating that it's not like, fuck you, I have a coffee company, you can't, but it's like you should actually be involved in the process, learn about how
like
everything works,
it's not,
and then
you can't just buy fucking bulk ammunition and throw it in a new box and say you're an ammo
But a lot of
company.
people do that, you know?
No.
I know. Trust me, I know. I don't want to get into this one, but yeah.
I mean, I remember too. I mean, we're 8 months into our first year when I stopped into 9 Line and they were still heat pressing shirts, make to order. Like when
Right.
you ordered, it would come in at what color. They would pick it off their rack and go and press the
wow.
design on it.
Wow.
Like, so it's like you look back to when we first started, there wasn't that many in the space at all.
No, there wasn't.
Like, I mean, you had Ranger Up, Grunt Style, and us. Like,
yeah.
by month 6, like that's.
I just didn't want to
Well,
say
and
that
then whatever
other,
that
other
company,
name.
whatever that company was, that like could sell T-shirts of the PX that were like, you
Oh,
know,
God,
fucking
yeah.
death from above, like non-vet
Yeah.
and ready to kill,
Yeah.
and
Ready
stuff
to
like
kill.
that.
Murder families and drink blood.
Babies' blankets are napalm. Like, fucking what?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
And
you
then
know?
we're too edgy to get in the
Oh,
PX. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
we're
We're not
too-
talking about murdering children here. We're talking about jacking off in a porta-john, man.
It's so true.
How is that taboo, right? Everybody's done it in the military.
I've never done it.
No?
I've never been able to jack off.
Erroneous.
I've never been able to do it.
You're
I've tried.
full of
I've
it.
tried.
But so you've
I've
done
tried.
it.
It's
I
just
didn't
the,
say
the
you have to.
wafting fucking like smell coming out of that fucking thing.
Yeah, but you
know
gotta
what?
find the clean one.
I should have closed the lid. I
Yes.
don't know why I was just
Yeah.
waiting for that. I should have just
God,
sat on
duh.
Yeah, you just had a
Yeah.
revelation right there.
it. Yeah, I think I was just like taking a shit, and then I was like looking down. I was like, fuck it.
Oh, there's so many turds.
Oh God, I just almost threw up.
God, we get off track real quick.
Yeah.
So quick, the fucking squirrel jumps out of a cage. and
What's
we're just, like,
I would
running
say
down
what's
it.
more frustrating than having to see these fake entrepreneurs is seeing when people actually pay them to speak.
Oh yeah, there's speaking engagement.
This
money.
is
There's
like the
speaking
new
engagement.
This is dude. I saw the greatest the other day. I saw one of the female lieutenants that graduated Ranger School had a profile up on for hired speakers, and it was like like she got out as a lieutenant, and like here's my rate, $15,000 to come speak. What the fuck are you going to talk about? Like, you went to Ranger School and then you got out of the Army? Like, what the
I see. I'm the kind of guy where like I never try to knock someone's craft because they might be learning it. But like you had an example, it was a while back, but someone was a social media marketing master or whatever they talked about themselves,
Right.
and they had like 420 followers.
Yeah.
And they were
I used to troll that
literally-
dude all the time.
Yeah, and shit like that. I'm like, at least like someone like her can talk about like being one of the first. There's bullet
Well, it
points
was
where
the
you're like
way
you
that
understand.
she was
Right.
She was being sold to corporate places about
Right.
leadership. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Yeah.
You're a lieutenant. You
Right.
you fucking did it like 3 years.
Right.
Like, what are you going to get up and tell
Yeah, but
a
then you
fucking
have-
giant corporate staff?
But then again, if you look at the business aspect, aside from what you believe, like that's like saying Instructor Zero is wrong. Like he was right for a while because 2 years he was getting paychecks or whatever the fuck, you know. And like when you look at a legit background, you just kind of laugh at the dude. But he marketed himself correctly, so there
But
there
that's the
is
thing,
a
is like-
process of learning in there. You're like, I would look at that dude and laugh my fucking ass off, but. Did he get a paycheck for the bullshit he was doing?
Well,
he did.
He was like that's a very gray area.
It is.
I mean, there was a country that went after him after they like.
Well, because he
researched him.
completely started fabricating his
like a
experience.
country, like
yeah,
an entire
yeah.
country.
So he took some contract to train a special
Yeah, it was like
operations in
South America
It's
or
a South
something?
American country. Like El Salvador, there's a whole news article on it. Like
Really?
like a
I gotta
newscast.
see this.
So he went and
yeah.
trained their special operations, police or
And
military,
then
whatever.
their president,
saw it,
like-
and he was
like,
like, not
looked him
no,
up.
but fuck no.
And he had
That's
his
awesome.
intelligence guys like researched what his background was, and when they saw it, they went, "Wait, what the fuck did you just do?"
Wait, my bodyguards killed more people than this motherfucker. Like, what? What'd you guys do? Like, and it's funny. Like, you can just smell through that stuff when you look at his videos, for instance. Like, a lot of guys are like, "Oh, that's cool. He's a showman." You know what I mean? He's a showman. I get it.
It's entertainment. That's
yeah,
what it is.
it's entertainment.
But
He's-
the only thing, and not to interject there,
No.
the only problem with entertainment in the gun space, it either has to be so specific to entertainment that you know the kind of what you're doing with the gun that's semi unsafe is absolute entertainment, and like as a responsible gun owner, you start to think about, okay, you're doing training techniques that are fucking insanely fucking dangerous, ludicrous, that have no tactical fucking translation, and then some poor ass kid's gonna go out there with this fucking brand new Bushmaster stock fucking gun and start shooting while his buddy's dancing around with a fucking E-type.
dude,
Like,
that's
no,
such a-
bro.
that's
Like
such a
that's where
weird-
I have
Like,
a conflict of interest.
It's to me, if you're gonna hail yourself as an instructor, like you have to have practical application of your skills at least. Like you're not
Well,
gonna learn
especially in a
surgery
time of
from
GWAT.
somebody that has never fucking performed surgery. Like,
I've watched a lot of YouTube
listen,
videos.
I read this giant book. It was this big on surgery.
Yeah.
Let me teach you how to surgical.
You know, but there are guys out there that haven't applied their craft and technology, right? So it's like
Right.
I think Rob Latham. You know, he's
But
one of the
they're-
most phenomenal
I know
shooters.
exactly what
you know,
you're talking
and you're
about,
like,
though.
that dude can throw down, and you're like, okay, well, I can learn how to shoot from this guy. The difference, I think, is a lot of people don't disassociate like shooting marksmanship, like becoming a better marksman, and then taking their skills as a marksman and applying them in a practical circumstance and a tactical world. So that's where, like, if old boy would have come out and said, "Hey, I'm just a marksmanship instructor. This is great," but he's like hailing himself as a tactical expert.
Yeah,
it's like,
he-
bro, if you've never been in a real tactical
He made
circumstance, you
some
can't say
comment.
that.
I'd say the maddest I'd been at him was he posted some bullshit fucking picture of himself in this and made this comment about how it was right after like the Philippine special forces took a huge hit, like huge. They had something go down where they lost a lot of
They
dudes.
lost a fuck ton of
And
dudes. Like
he shows
15.
this picture of him down there like a couple months later, like, don't worry everyone, Instructor Zero's down here now to fucking save your grace. Like, oh, what about fucking First Special Forces Group that's been there the last fucking 20 years helping those guys? Like,
Yeah.
you're not the saving fucking grace for those people.
But I think that's like a takeaway on business with that, right? So you have someone that was able to market themselves pretty fucking successfully. And it's I think it's the same thing with a lot of like guys that are influencers. You can get impressions, but there's a shelf life because there comes a point where someone calls bullshit and you can't recreate yourself. So like in business, it's a perpetual thing where you have to consistently recreate your model or your influence to grow. And someone like that, there's a reason why he's not around anymore. There's a reason why a lot of other tactical instructors, because if you're, I don't want to call him a one-trick pony, but you have to grow and you have to have the ability to create a foundation to support if that marketing strategy doesn't work, well, you can rely on another marketing strategy. And from business, right? I think that's what we try to do every day. It's like, is Matt going to be fucking on Facebook posting like, "Hi, I'm Matt, Bikini Snap," in 10 years? No, I mean, sure, if that works, but I significantly doubt it. No, there's going to be a cooler, fucking, more relevant dude coming along. So it's like, how do you position yourself to be in 10 years where you walk away from that position, maybe more in like a marketing director, producing type, and then, you know,
pass the torch.
Right, pass the torch.
Pass the torch. Go out on top.
Yeah, but you guys have always had that. You've always
Well,
had
I'm like
that
super
foresight.
competitive,
You've
so
always
like
had
I
that
doubt that's gonna
foresight
happen.
where you're like when I first met you, you're like, we got like 6 months in this, and then we're like, we're gonna be yesterday's news. I'm like, fuck, man, really? Like, no, I don't think so. And so now like this thing has legs because I think when you look at the legitimacy of like MBAS, Start 15, BlackRifle Coffee, you look at what the companies are, they're who they are. It's not what they are, it's who they are. Like, we're authentic people. People can see, they can talk they can talk to us. We're not going to like sugarcoat it or hide it. Whoever the fuck we are, right? And the one thing I like about this group is that's the real deal. Like, it's like your How to Be an American skit is not Matt Best. It's not like you specifically. There's a lot of your personal attributes that you're amplifying in that.
Yeah, I
because
mean, every
it's funny.
skit that
It's
I
a
do,
skit.
yeah, but every skit I do is an extension of my personality. So when people get to meet me, those values that I hold true, like, could I sit in a room right here with like a fucking emo little snowflake hipster motherfucker? Of course I could.
Yeah.
Would I fucking be a little bitch and bully him? No, absolutely not. But
No, we would make fun of him with
But when
candor.
he buys a salad because he's like, I don't believe in eating meat, I'm gonna project my values in a comedic manner on him and say, you're a
Right.
fucking bitch. You should be at your 200-pound card to be a fucking man, because that's what I believe in. I believe certain things. Am I always right? Fuck no, I'm not right. But like, it's authentic, and I think that's
Right.
what carries a lot in business.
Yeah, so be authentic. And I guess that's the thing, this fake entrepreneur speech that we're talking about is like, you've got these guys and you see them. I mean, anybody that's like scrolling through Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat, it's like, man, some of these guys, they're just bad news. And I'm not going to throw, obviously I'm not going to throw any mud.
Here's the big
they're
red
fucking
flag,
bad
though.
news,
Like,
man.
If and it's just like getting a pitch from somebody that's involved in a P2P marketing fucking bullshit scam. God, I hate those things.
I love them.
Amway and all that fucking dumb shit. Holy fuck. Like, sign up for the shake, and if you sell so many shakes, you get a BMW. That bullshit. Like, if they spend all their time just talking about lifestyle, like, and never once diving into the weeds of like fact into business, like, oh man, here were problems that we faced when we scaled from 1,000 orders to 2,000 orders a day. Oh my God, we had to hire people, we had to do this, we had to do that.
But that's like, to me, like when I look at entrepreneurs and I'm like, holy fuck, you fucking made it. It's like the success stories that I thoroughly enjoy will be like the stay-at-home mom who's having to take care of the kids. Her hobby is like knitting. She starts making fucking, I don't know, wrist covers for CrossFit, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
She's knitting this shit. She sells them to her friends. They shared it on Facebook. Now she's selling 400. Oh my God. And then to the point where like the husband's quitting to help fulfillment at the house. Then they bought because they're addressing these issues as they grow. Like those stories to me are so fucking cool. I get fucking chills about it because it's like, that's what the American dream is. It's like hard fucking work and problem solving. Mm-hmm. Are you always going to get it wrong? Fuck no. You probably get it wrong more than you do get it right. But it's about fucking reattacking and going after it.
Yeah, and that's how you can tell these fakes if they're never going off like. Well,
Okay,
first off,
give me real data.
Yeah, look at
first
their
of all,
accolades.
give me real data.
What is you're an entrepreneur, but what is your business?
There was
How
a
much money
blog.
have you
There was a
made?
blog article by a guy the other day. It was like some fucking 7 habits of a successful person. And I'm like,
God,
the guy's a
damn.
complete shitbag. We fucking know him. He's a complete turd. And I'm like, why the fuck is he writing this?
Yeah,
like he's
they
a
were
known
They were
thief.
stupid fucking.
And you're like,
lists
come
too,
on,
like
man.
dress for success.
Yeah, dress
No.
for success.
You look
Get
how
the
I'm
fuck outta
dressed right
here.
now. This is how I always am dressed. I don't.
Wait.
give a fuck.
So you're
Dress-
you're saying my blog article seven ways to be a successful astronaut is not good?
No,
I'm gonna
I
start
feel
writing.
like astronauts
I
should
think-
eat steak.
I
They
think
should
we
like wear good
I think
clothes.
we should start writing for other career fields. Like,
I tell you,
7
yeah.
ways to become an astronaut. But you were never an astronaut.
Yeah,
See,
but
you weren't even a pilot. Yeah, I know, but
Fuck it.
I mean,
Fuck
I
it.
am.
Let's just fucking
I just-
7 ways to be a fucking what is that? A horseshoer? What do they call those
Horseshoer?
guys?
Yeah.
You know, what,
well,
a farrier.
I'm-
7
A
ways to
farrier.
be a successful farrier. And where's this
Evan,
like?
have you ever shoot a horse?
No, god damn it! I'm just
but-
gonna fucking do it.
I've been bucked off one, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much a
I
horseshoer.
mean, you've been around horses
Yeah.
at that point.
Mod, we got any cool comments over there we
Anything
should
going?
say hi to?
Are they just complaining at us? Are they saying we're assholes?
As far as comments, just there's a whole stream now of creative BRCC names.
Yeah, I've seen those. Those are great. Those are really good. Keep them coming.
Like
We need to start
big,
micing
rock
Mod.
hard.
We have to mic
country
Mod
cock.
up.
Yeah.
Like we got to mic Mod up next time.
Yeah,
That
we
way-
need
that
Mod
way
over
he
there
can,
mic'd
he
up.
can interject. Like,
Yeah.
hey guys, he's like Howard Stern's. What is that, Gary?
Yeah.
Just it's Krieger.
Not
Ask
even a single
Krieger.
good question.
Mod's like a more handsome Conor McGregor. He always wears flannels. He always has his fucking M&P shield hanging out of his pocket.
He's Special Agent Monterelli.
What is it?
That's an XDS.
Oh, he's got an XDS. My bad.
Special Agent Monterelli. I love
Yeah,
that. I
it's
love
good.
that. We're bringing him in a badge to wear around his neck.
Nice.
Anything good?
Yeah,
Nothing.
I got a question here from Bradley.
A question from
Hello,
Bradley.
Bradley.
What is your opinion on new business ventures by vets, making it known that they are veterans? Starting a remodeling business with a veteran friend, and he's unsure about using his service as a marketing.
I can definitely tell you.
Yeah.
So the question was, what is our opinion on veterans using their veteran status to help promote their business? I believe that like you absolutely should, because
Yeah.
you've earned the right. You are a veteran. It is something you've done in the past. But conversely, I hate when people solely market themselves. When people are like, Matt, former Army Ranger. I at this point in transition of my life, not transitioning to like weird sexual thing, but you know, I like an entrepreneur. But when people ask if I've served, I will absolutely stand proud of that service, and I will until I'm fucking 80, because most people don't take the option to serve, especially in a in the volunteer military. So you should definitely be proud of that.
It comes down to what the business is. Like he said, it's remodeling. Like
But it's awesome.
absolutely, because putting that veteran in front of that, people know. People know that you're a hard worker.
Yeah, but like I know you're going to go on this one. Not necessarily like what you are, but you've had service. So I think that like that's awesome. But using the veteran card where it's like, are you fucking kidding me? You didn't go with my fucking business because I'm a fucking veteran. You're like, whoa. You were 2 times more expensive. Your worker stole my fucking blender. Like you remodeled your business and then I'll hire you because you're a veteran. So it's not a sense of entitlement, but you should absolutely use that, I think.
Yeah, I always look at this as like, okay, so if you go to law school, are you going to not tell people that you are a lawyer in order to market yourself? Like, if you have an MBA, if you have a bachelor's, whatever it is, like you're going to use your resume to market. Yeah. And this is the thing that people use their resumes, their backgrounds. What you've done is you served your country. You hopefully, you were discharged honorably. You left with a DD-214. And you should feel that it's appropriate to market yourself based on your background, your resume. I've fielded this question a ton of times. Guys are like, hey, I think it's kind of fucked up that you tell people that you were a Green Beret in order to market your company. I'm like, first of all, I've never told people that I'm a Green Beret in order to market our company. No. When the question comes up, I tell people what I did in my background, to include using the acronym, which is the CIA, because I don't give a shit. That's my past. That's my resume.
Yeah, but there's a completely different like sides from you saying like
it's people that
buy my coffee
because
I'm a Green Beret, or saying like Evan Hafer, CEO of BlackRifle, former Green Beret.
Your response to that is no. Actually, those videos that get millions of views, that's what markets the company.
That's what markets the company.
When somebody interviews and asks me what I did, I tell them what I did.
Yeah, and there are ads out there, that are like veteran-owned coffee.
But that's a large part of BlackRifle. Literally, like 80% in the executive side, 100% are all fucking veterans, and some are still serving. Why wouldn't you be proud of that?
We are, and that's where I'm like, we're proud of that fact, and also like I'm a vet, you're a vet, everybody here in this room is a vet. So it's like when I go to look for things in it to buy, to press, when I'm voting for my dollars. If I see something where I'm like, dude, that's a vet, that guy's a vet, that's a veteran-owned company, I know a couple different things about it. And more importantly, like if it's a landscaping company or a remodeling company, bro, that's the call I'm going to make. If I know he's a veteran or she's a veteran, that's the first call I'm going to make. If there's 5 lists and one says veteran-owned, there's 5 companies, press call.
I would absolutely too.
Because I don't want to say like I discriminate from other points of view or discriminate other companies. I'm just saying like, man, I know we have a shared circumstance.
Yeah, it's a shared experience, and you value that experience.
I mean, look at FUBU. This is a poor example, right? But it's for us, by us. That's what the name of it is, for African American subculture and clothing. And people would prefer to buy from Black-owned businesses or African American businesses. So I don't see there's not an issue with this because it's based on our subculture, which doesn't have anything to do with race. It has everything to do with service.
Right.
It's a volunteer. And I think that's a perfectly acceptable way to market your company, market yourself. And if you choose not to,
I mean,
okay, it doesn't matter.
Listen, at least, look at all the books getting written. Shit, I'm writing a book, so fuck
Hell
it.
yeah. Let's get on that book tip.
Gentlemen, that's our 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Damn,
in and out.
Quick.
In and out. So, from Matt Best, Evan.
Hey guys,
and
do us a favor. We're really trying to grow the podcast. I'm not asking you to, with my hand out, but definitely like and share the podcast if you did like it and you do want to spread the word and get it out there to all your friends. Much appreciated.
It sounded so diplomatic.
What?
So diplomatic.
Seriously?
Well, until Thursday, ladies and
God,
gentlemen, when we build our new set. And have our new setup.
Yeah.
Our new set.
Our new set.
Cool. We love you guys.
Things way more fun.
Thanks for listening to us.
Yeah.
BlackRifle Coffee Company, along with Arson Wave, would like to thank you for tuning in to BlackHearted. Have a great fucking day.